Hi guys, welcome back to my channel, and in this video we will be moving forward with the fourth basis of classification, that is the coelom. Right? So in the previous videos beta, we have covered the first three bases of classification. Right? Now we will be moving forward to coelom, but make sure that you have watched all the videos which are made before this one, so that you get in the continuation of the process in which we are going on. Right? Make sure you are going on with this chapter. All the videos should be done in a particular sequence. Right? In the sequence which I am going on in, you can go directly in that sequence. It will be very simple for you. Okay? So make sure that the sequence is maintained. So now we are in the fourth basis of classification, that is the coelom. Okay? So what do you understand by coelom? Coelom also is called as a cavity. Right? It was first introduced by Ernst Haeckel. It was first introduced by Ernst Haeckel. Okay? It is referred to as a cavity. Okay? It has a fluid. This cavity is filled by coelomic fluid. Coelomic fluid acting as a shock absorber. It acts as a shock absorber. Okay, this fluid basically acts as a shock absorber. Fine. It is known as the body cavity. So coelom is known as the body cavity. It was introduced first by Ernst Haeckel, and this cavity is filled by a coelomic fluid which acts as a shock absorber. Fine. It is acting as a shock absorber which helps in the absorption of any kinds of shocks. Fine. So now coelom beta, on the basis of coelom also the organisms are divided. Right. But how many types of coelom are there? So there are basically three types of coelom. The diagrams I have drawn below. Right. First is acoelomate, then pseudocoelomate, and the last one is eucoelomates. Okay. So here acoelomates, you need to break up the words into two parts to know the meanings. Very simple, right? So acoelomates means they do not have any coelom, absent. Coelom is absent. That means they have no body cavity. Okay. Now next is pseudo. Pseudo means they have false coelom. They have false coelom. And then comes eucoelomates. Eucoelomates means true coelom. That means they are having true coelom. Okay. Now the question arises that ma'am, how is this coelom formed? Is coelom banta kaise hai? This is the question that should pop up in your mind as soon as you hear this term coelom. How is the cavity being formed? So now, when we were studying beta the germ layers, I told you that on the basis of germ layers there are two groups, right? Diploblastic and triploblastic. Diplo means two layers. Triplo means three layers. Okay? So diploblastic and triploblastic. And there were three layers which were known as ectoderm, endoderm, and mesoderm. Mesoderm. So make sure, I won't be telling in details about these three terms because we have already discussed and I have dedicated an entire video for this. So if you haven't watched it, you need to go watch that video first and then you can come back to this one. Okay. So these three layers we had talked about in the previous video. Right? That ectoderm, endoderm and mesoderm. So beta, coelom ki formation ke liye, that means for the formation of this cavity or the coelom, what is important? Mesoderm. Mesoderm plays a very, very important role in the formation of coelom. Okay. The mesoderm is playing a very, very important role in what? In the formation of coelom. How is it being formed? You will say that, ma'am, coelom banta kaise hai? But what happens? Due to repeated division of cells of the mesoderm, or you can say mesodermal cells. Mesoderm की cells की division की वजह से बेटा there is a space created. Due to the repeated division of the cells of the mesoderm, a space is created. Space is created in which organs are placed. In which organs of the body are placed. ठीक है? So what happens बेटा? This coelom, ये जो coelom है, ये कैसे form होता है? Mesoderm layer. Okay? It is mesodermal in origin. Fine? So how is the mesodermal layer forming the coelom? In mesoderm layer, the cells keep on repeatedly dividing. If they keep on repeatedly dividing, they will eventually make some space. Right? वो divide होते जाएंगे और बीच में एक space create हो जाएगा. When that space is created, the organs of the body, they can be placed in that space. Okay? But the point is, those organisms which do not have mesoderm, जिनके पास mesoderm ही नहीं है, what will happen? If no mesoderm is there, then that means no coelom will be formed. No coelom. If there is no mesoderm, no coelom. So, the organisms which are not having the mesoderm, they will not be forming a coelom. That means they will be falling in the category of acoelomates. उनमें coelom ही नहीं बन पाएगा. क्यों नहीं बन पाएगा? Because mesoderm है ही नहीं. Right? So the diploblastic organisms which we had discussed in the previous video, they do not have mesoderm. Instead of mesoderm, they have a jelly-like structure called as the mesoglia, which is not capable to form this coelom. Okay? So अगर coelom ही नहीं होगा, they will fall in the category of acoelomates. So the examples of acoelomates will be coelenterata and ctenophora. Coelenterata and ctenophora will be the examples of acoelomates. Now, if I have already explained this, you can see here, beta. Acoelomate. This is the diagram of acoelomate. In this, you can't see any space in between. This portion is not the cavity. Do not get it wrong. This portion, these are not the cavities. This portion is the primitive gut. It is known as the primitive gut. Okay? This is not a cavity. In this portion, eucoelomates, that is the true coelom is present. In this, you can see that this is a cavity which is formed here. Okay? I'll explain you. So, later on, eucoelomates के बारे में अभी बात नहीं करेंगे. We are talking about acoelomates. So, no coelom is present. That means coelom is completely absent because of the absence of mesodermal layer. It has mesoglia, which is incapable of dividing. Now, let's come to pseudocoelomate. Examples I have already given. One important thing, platyhelminths beta. Platyhelminths are triploblastic, but they are exceptionally falling in the category of acoelomate. Why? उनके पास तो mesoderm भी होती है, फिर भी मैम वो acoelomates में क्यों आ रहे हैं? They are coming in the category of acoelomate in spite of having the mesoderm, because their mesoderm is not very soft. It is a very thick and strong mesoderm layer which is incapable of moving or shifting. And due to no movement or shifting, what will happen? No space will be generated for the organs to be placed. If there is no space, no organ will be placed. No cavity is formed. So, acoelomate की exception क्या है? Platyhelminths. Ctenophora and coelenterata the examples हैं ही बेटा. But the exceptional example in case of acoelomate will be platyhelminths, because the mesoderm found in the platyhelminths is thick and strong, which is incapable of moving. So due to no movement, no cavity will be formed. Right? Now next will be pseudocoelomate. That means it has a false coelom. So pseudocoelomates, beta, they are having a false coelom. Fine? Their coelom, that means you can see here it is present in the pouches. This is the fake coelom, or you can say the false coelom. Right? The mesoderm layer which is present here is present in the pouches. Okay, so this is the pseudocoelomate. Then let's come to eucoelomate. So eucoelomates, beta, they are what? They are having a complete coelom. They are having a true coelom. They are having a true body cavity. How come they are having a true body cavity? कैसे form होता है? See बेटा, what happens is जो इसमें mesoderm layer होती है, oh my god, by mistake I have written this mesoglia. This is not mesoglia. This is mesoderm. Please correct it. This is mesoderm. Fine. So in eucoelomates, beta, they are known as true coelom. They are having true coeloms. So how is this formed? What happens, beta? In this mesoderm layer is basically divided into two groups: the inner mesoderm and the outer mesoderm. Okay. So the inner mesoderm is lining the endoderm, and the outer mesoderm is lining the ectoderm. This is the ectoderm. It is lined by the red portion. It is known as the outer mesoderm, and the inner mesoderm, this one, is lining the endoderm. So when both of them, that means the inner mesoderm is also there and the outer mesoderm is also there, which is lining the ectoderm and the endoderm respectively, and they are connected by what? Mesenteries. Mesenteries से connected होते हैं and leading to the formation of a cavity. It is known as a eucoelomate. That means a true coelom is present. Right? जब भी mesoderm दो parts में divide हो जाएगी बेटा, whenever this mesoderm is being divided into two parts, the outer mesoderm and the inner mesoderm lining the ectoderm and the endoderm and connected through the mesenteries, then what will happen? A true coelom is there. Okay, a true coelom is there. Now beta, true coelom is there, and the examples of the eucoelomates will be starting from nematoda to chordata. nematoda से लेके chordata तक what happens बेटा? nematoda से लेके chordata तक जो भी phylums हैं, they are falling in the category of eucoelomates. Now what happens बेटा? eucoelomates में एक complete coelom formation होती है, but जो ये coelom formation होती है, it is done in two ways. Okay, I am just erasing this. Okay, so note down all the points carefully, beta. Now, what happens in the coelom? Schizocoelom and enterocoelom, the two types of coelom in eucoelomates. Let me write. Eucoelomates are having a true coelom, right? They are having a true coelom. जो true coelom formation होती है, it can be done in two ways. Schizocoelom. First one is schizocoelom, and second one coelom. Enterocoelom. So the second one is enterocoelom. Sure, beta, the schizocoelom and the enterocoelom. What happens in schizocoelom, beta? The mesoderm is divided into two parts: the inner mesoderm and the outer mesoderm. Right? So in schizocoelom क्या होता है? Process जो होता है वो थोड़ा different होता है दोनों में. End result दोनों का same होता है. The end result of both these processes is formation of a coelom. But the process is different. How? In schizocoelom, the mesoderm divides into two parts: the outer mesoderm and the inner mesoderm. But what happens in enterocoelom? They are divided into pouches. The pouches are formed, and later on these pouches get divided into two groups: the inner mesoderm and the outer mesoderm, and then it leads to the formation of eucoelomates. Right? A true coelom is formed eventually, but the process is a little bit different. Okay? So, now which organisms come in the category of schizocoelom? You can write down nematoda, annelida, arthropoda, mollusca, and which organisms come under eucoelomates? Enterocoeloms. You can write echinodermata, hemichordata, and chordata. Okay, so these are the perfect examples, and this is the diagram which you can understand from the book also, very simple. Any doubt regarding this video, beta, put it in the comment section. You can ask me anytime. I'll be able to reciprocate if you only ask me any kind of doubts, right? So in the next video, we'll be moving forward with the chapter, right? And if you have any problem, beta, put it in the comment section. Make sure to like, share and subscribe, and stay tuned for the next video, and I'll see you all in the next video. Till then, take care.